everybody! We have returned after being away for a week because, you know, life do be like that. But we're back. It is the Stormy Dragon Tavern coming at you with flippin' stars without number. We got the spicy hot crew of the Gloved Molotov having some space adventures, as they do occasionally. I've also got my cozy M here.
When have we stopped?
Smooth.
Occasionally we're in space.
Now, you are in kind of a weird situation. You are on a spaceship, which is in drive space, and while on that spaceship, you are now on a planet. This is like, so you went to a planet. You went underground that planet. Then you went inside a thing underground in that planet, and then you were in space underground on a planet. And then
what happens if you get on a ship in dry space on a planet and put that ship in dry space inside dry space? Does it work?
Would you like to try?
No.
Sure.
I mean,
no,
yes.
definitely
yes,
no.
I do.
We're not doing that.
I mean, I really want to know now, though.
Wouldn't that be fun?
You don't tempt me with something like that and then expect me not to want to do it.
Loki, it's space magic.
Okay, fuck it.
Moving on, we have the crew of the Gloved Molotov, and I'm going to be honest, the blurb I wrote and sent to Alice was pretty bonkers, just the sheer layers of ridiculousness that I had to write down. It was, the party are being sent through a variety of tests by an alien artificial intelligence called Nucleus. They want to help the crew deal with this mutual problem of a ship cracking Yakuta like an egg, but are being hamstrung by their own procedures and need to make sure that the humans and Pim and Jin are worthy of what is potentially a vastly powerful spaceship that can pick up portions of the surface of a planet, turn them into mini spheres, and carry them around. As a zoo, you know? So, the third of these tests is to go down to the surface of one of these enclosure planets and try and find the exit. You were given compasses, and while you explored the mostly savanna, partially lake, partially forest terrain of this planet, you realized that wherever you went on the surface, the compasses always pointed down, implying that you had to maybe find a cave or a ravine or something deeper. Then, as you were pondering this problem to yourself, a tremor grew and grew. And erupting from the earth came a giant worm, devouring two of the indigenous space cows, we'll call them, in one gulp, and burrowing back under the ground. The party were justifiably concerned and took to the sky once more as they considered their options. They were ultimately able to find a small shaft inside a tree in the forest area that led down to the core. Imagine, if you will, the inside of a sphere. And now imagine that the entire surface of the inside of that sphere is covered in stalactites. Inside that sphere is another sphere, and the exterior surface of that sphere is covered in stalagmites and small rivers of lava.
I hope the stream didn't just freeze because my computer just froze. But I can still hear y'all. So you know, it's fine. Everything's fine. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. It is fine. Oh, it caught up.
The stream has frozen.
What?
I don't know if the
Oh,
audio
no, it caught
froze.
up.
It's
It
fine.
caught up.
It's fine. It's here. We're here. We're good. We're good.
I was explaining all my dumb stuff.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
I don't have to do that again. It was a lot of work.
The audio still kept going. I just don't know if the software was picking it up. We good? We good? Okay. It's fine. Keep going. It's just keep going. It's good.
Okay. So, spikes on the inside, spikes on the outside, and lava. Pim decided to go down this hole first, and did some scouting and exploring, and had a very interesting encounter with gravity, given the variable nature of mass, both above and below. Charles saw fit to follow suit, but was forced to take off his vac suit to fit down the hole. Something which was a bit detrimental to him at this time, because there was lava, there was heat, and as soon as he had entered this chasm, he was exposed to a at least 80 degrees. Pardon me.
It was
And
slightly warm.
And that's air temperature.
That's right. He's not made of wax.
Feeling the skin on his exposed body begin to dry and quickly burn, he thought of a solution and pulled out pressure tent. He quickly activated it, jumped inside, and found himself a very novel beach ball as he fell victim to the variable effects of gravity going on inside this cavern. Because the pressure tent has a stable atmosphere and temperature, he was free to heal himself and try and put his vaccine back on. But every time he did, he would collide with one of these spikes, causing him to bounce and the tent to deform. And basically, he is in a perpetual tent ball of gravity agony, being bounced around the inside of this spiky cavern. Meanwhile, Pim was investigating and was able to follow his compass bearings to the exit, which appeared to be a small floating blue sphere that just had the text exit scrolling around the exterior. Upon finding this, Pim got on his loudspeakers and just boomed out across the cavern, "Over here, Charles, I found the exit," which did attract the attention of the cavern's inhabitant, one of the giant space worms they were trying really hard to not anger. And at that point, I said that we were going to roll initiative. But we're going to rewind just a tad, because I need to include a certain Dimitri in what is happening here. So I'm going to find forest music instead of volcano music.
Yay.
And I'm going to bring us back to Dimitri. So, you were happy to take the party wherever they wanted and to be directed to explore. They left you and this weird cigar-shaped, tri-armed vessel of yours on the edge of the forest because it was quite deep, and you would have a hard time flying in. But you would have been privy to the comms conversations that they were having about what to do. And while we can't backtrack through what they were doing, I can give you a chance to explore what you were doing. So, as you sit behind the cockpit of this vessel, two of Professor Hotake's goons are on the ship with you. One is hanging out on the gun deck, The other you can tell is in the cargo hold doing an inventory. As you look out beyond your cockpit, you can see that Professor Hotaka, who I should say has now been made part of Blub. I did forget to mention that.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to ignore it.
is currently walking across the surface of this planet, kind of walking the line between forest and savannah, with two other guards in tow, and he's doing what can only be described as vlogging.
Oh my god. This fucking character, man. I just want to like.
His robot companion seems to be recording, and he is talking to them as though they were an audience, and it and is just waxing poetic about his surroundings. What do you do?
What do I do? No.
Mm-hmm. Well, you're in nature. There's a forest.
I'm in the ship, and the ship's parked where?
Parked on the border of a forest and a savanna.
And the worms were where?
The worms were hunting in the savanna. You came to the conclusion that the worms could not hunt in the forest because of the thickness and complexity of the roots, and was probably included in this biosphere as a means to maintain the space cow population.
I'd probably just fly around and look at the different biomes for a bit.
Okay, so
I'm guessing that this planetoid is not particularly huge, so
it is 1 kilometer in diameter, the entire planet.
yeah, so it's relatively tiny. But is there any scanning equipment in this vessel?
Absolutely.
So I can scan for deep holes?
Yes, you can. As part of the party's prior investigation, you were able to see that the lakes went somewhat deep, but there was concern about draining them.
Don't need to drain them, just swim them.
That too.
Fly through them.
If you want.
Or just put on something very heavy.
And sink? Yes.
Yeah. If you want, you can do a thorough scan of this planet and try and find some deep holes.
Sure.
I would call that. Personally, I would call that tech astronautic.
Really?
Yes, you are using ship grade scanning equipment.
The roll says it's shit.
Oh no. You do get a bonus to this.
Yeah. I roll. 2 3s are the highest.
Oh dear.
Plus 2, so what's that? 8?
8. You are going around and investigating something that you do notice as you occasionally watch the worms reach the surface and tunnel back down, is the temperature and viscosity of the soil that they leave behind as they tunnel back underground. So the temperature is higher, and as is the viscosity. So you think that there's a process of cooling where the soil that they leave behind is kind of malleable and warm because it's just been passing through them.
Yeah, I'm not sure how useful that is, but
other than that, you are having a hard time finding any holes until you hear the party get on the comms and begin to talk about having found one running through the center of a tree. It seems to go down to the planet's core.
that is an odd tree.
Yes, it is. I wonder why it was.
You could say
done
it's
like
a holy tree.
Oh, terrible.
God damn it.
Boo.
And though you aren't present to dissuade them, it sounds like, based on the conversation, Pim is going in.
So, do we all need to escape through the tree, or do we just need to work out how to get out?
This is some minor reconjuration on my part, just to make it included. Just remember, the conversation does lead towards the ultimate conclusion that has already played out.
I'm just thinking it's easier to find a way back to the surface from the center rather than keep looking on the surface.
No, I just weirded out by the fact, like, if I'm in the ship, if the ship is being transported to the planet, how are we meant to get the ship through a tree? That's why I'm like, is the wording find the
Give me a
exit?
couple of minutes, I can work out a way to get it down there.
I'm just wondering, like, was the wording of the task to find the exit, or was it to use the exit?
You were told to find the exit.
But how
Sure,
do
it'll
we
all
get
make
back?
sense once we find this thing.
How do we get? There is no difference in this, no? It does not matter as long as we have to find it regardless. So we have to figure out where it is.
Maybe
Hey
it's
guys,
like
I
a
found it.
metaphorical exit.
Oh, Michaela, apologies. This is a little bit back in time, so it's...
I know, but like he did tell everyone that he found it when he did.
Yeah, just so we're going back in time a bit to before Pim has jumped down the hole, as Dimitri is investigating. We're going to catch up. It's okay.
You could just skip forward. Like,
Look, if I was
Okay.
going to make a safe place for anything, it would be where these creatures do not go. So the forest is where I think we should look. It is secluded. These creatures don't go there. It is place where we can go underground, because this is where we are being directed, underground. This is where exit seems to be. It seems safe because there is trees with roots that are very deep. It seems logical to me. This is where exit would be. If I was going to put it anywhere, it would be here.
Haha, you said root.
Oh, Pim. Did I ever give you the gift that I planned to give you?
What?
was it the gift when he turned from child into teenager?
No. I just suddenly remember. I have gift for you. And she reaches into her bags.
I have a question. How would I know that if you've given it to me if I didn't know it existed before now?
Let me see is here. Have I given you the thermomelodic mug?
No.
In that case, she ruffles through her bags, finds it, pulls it out, and goes, "Oh, I swear I gave this to you, but I guess I did not. I'm losing my mind. Here,
Drop it down the hole?
Would you like to insert it into Lockie's cartridge or something?
you know what? Just
You answer
remind me
nothing
later.
in Locke's country.
Just remind me later to give this to you. I suddenly realize this is bedtime. Puts it away.
Well, you do remember things at the worst times.
Mm-hmm. We now jump.
At least she remembers.
We now jump forwards in time. Dimitri, you listened to the process of Pim jumping down the hole. He shares his screen, and you see this.
Ooh. Ooh.
Oh,
Rory
delicious.
made a map! Oh my god. Oh, that's terrifying.
This was the best I could do, regardless of the fact that 3 dimensions were necessary.
I like it.
Oh god.
Alright.
Guys, I hate to say it, but I can't see shit.
Really?
Yeah, 'cause
Surely
it's
you can
yellow
see
on
the
white.
tones at least.
I can see some tones.
Okay,
I see the
okay.
giant worm thing.
Okay,
Good.
it's okay. I will endeavor to make this colorblind friendly.
No,
I
no,
can-
It's fine. It's fine. I can somewhat make out stuff. It looks like I'm staring at a very judgmental eyeball. Yes.
Oh, that's good. That's good. That's
My-
good.
There we
Got this
go. Okay, good.
Okay, can
that
you delete
works.
my sphere then that I made? A circle.
Oh, gods.
That is a nice looking circle. Thank you, Ellie.
I tried.
You are a treasure.
I'm having a hard time.
Popping a lot
Yeah,
of water
you have
from
to
this.
basically zoom all the way in so you can click on it properly.
That's fine. I can.
Hashtag thanks, Alice.
I
There's
tried.
always
I'm
one.
sorry.
Or as Kenna would no doubt say, blame it on Pepito.
Blame Peter.
Where'd the worm go?
You
I-
can't use blame it on Pepito because we've already got goddamn Kalan.
I need to put everything
Got it.
onto a different layer so I can. Oh, now you fix it. Okay.
I'm stupid. Okay, I had to unstupid my stupid.
There we go. Okay, we're back. So now, Christian, you saw that you mentioned to me on Friday night. You were all like, "I insist that this be a ridiculously complex three-dimensional map, theater of the mind." Eh? I'm not doing that. I work full time.
Alright, sorry for the
Deal
audience
with
for
it.
having to deal with me spazzing this map out, but I'm trying to make it the best I can.
I will also tell you that the scale that you use with this ruler is accurate. Each square is 5 meters.
Oh god.
Oh,
This worm-
boy.
This worm is considerably large.
This one be
She's
a
a
worm.
cutie. She's a big one, isn't she?
Yep.
I had to make the scale like this to make the map even remotely feasible, but because gravity's weird, it's fine. Damn it, Mikhail. Anyway, the hole was breached.
You're leaving a long pause, and I'm resisting the urge to make a joke.
I know. I know.
Mikhail did, Pim did penetrate said hole.
You're not making this any better. And I think you know that.
Hmm.
Did he penetrate it or slide down it?
Either one. And then, using his tiny form, he scurried across the surface.
That's just me! It's not the size! It's how you use it!
Yes,
Oh,
dear.
boy.
And Pim was able to locate the weird floating exit sphere. And flippin' Charles is bouncing around like a beach ball in his pressure tent. And
Yay.
I said roll for initiative, and now I meant it.
Okay, initiative is a D8, is that correct?
Oh yes.
Who's rolling for initiative?
At this point, I'm gonna say everybody.
Okay, I rolled a 6.
Just
I
in
got
case.
1. I'm going to be rolling in roll 20 today, if that's okay.
Oh, 4.
But like, off to a great start. The memories.
Ooh, my
Well.
initiative is 8.
I rolled a 1, so it's a 3.
Oh,
I got
God.
1. So, and I'm in my my scarab. So
Wait, how is
it's a
yours?
minus. It's a 0.
What do I add to my initiative?
Dex.
Dexterity.
Just dexterity? Okay.
Yes.
Damn, you
That's
have a
why
+2 dex? That's rude.
I do currently. Cause somebody's cray cray.
Yeah, but I only have a +2.
Okay, so Pim 1, Charles.
No. I'm 0. Okay,
He's going
Okay.
last.
because I'm in a scarab. Yeah. There's a negative to the dex.
Oh
Charles.
god.
I got a 6. So I actually did pretty well.
Okay. It was a 4 for Dimitri, was it?
Yeah, Charles is on pure adrenaline of, not wanting to be crushed between a sun or a spike. Or
I'm
a
so
worm.
dead.
And also
Kevin-
the fact that he's like being roasted.
Mm.
Catalina.
8. Which
What do
is
you want?
useless because she's currently like, I don't know what to do with this. Do I blow it
All
up?
right.
Thank you, Roll20. Off to a good start.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 1 minus
Wait.
1.
I rolled a 1 plus 2.
Because the Scarab is essentially a squawk box. It has a decent move speed, but its dex isn't great.
It's
I
a
can't-
skitterbug.
I can't add a turn for the worm because it's a flippin' handmade drawing I made, not an actual icon. Hang on.
Just put an icon in there and say that's the
Yeah.
worm and give it a number.
Working on it.
Or make it go after me in initiative.
No.
And then, okay,
Just never move.
worth a shot.
I'm gonna roll for the worm.
I swear to God, if I get eaten by a worm, I'm blaming Charles.
No, you don't get to do that.
No. Freedom of speech, freedom of will.
Charles and the worm are going at the same time.
Oh,
Charles and the worm. Get the title of Charles the Sex Tape.
Without rhythm, and you won't attract the
um,
worm.
I'm gonna ask if you can roll me a luck save, please, Charles.
That's a 19, so yes, I can.
Okay. I will put you before the worm. Just barely. Okay. So, this is a weird one. Catalina, you are on the surface of the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Lockie isn't paying as much attention as he should be.
Welcome back, Lockie.
Yes, so Lockie isn't paying as much attention as he should be to the unfolding situation downstairs because he's currently chasing around a baby space cow going,
He's a little beauty. I'm a catcher.
Catalina is ignoring Lockie.
indeed.
Like,
So,
well, she's sort of like got him in the back of her mind, like, yeah, okay, he's fine. Looking down the hole, like, they're not fine. He's fine, also not fine. But they're fine,
I'm so
not
tempted.
fine.
I'm so tempted to just send a live stream video of the giant worm coming towards me through the air to Lockie's screen and go, "Oh God, Charles's mother's cooking has come back."
I'm leaving you to be eaten.
a 130-meter monstrous space worm is Charles'
Was her
mother's
pasta?
cooking.
She tried to make spaghetti.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm leaving you down there, buddy.
Alright, currently, no one fits down the hole without taking our suits off, right?
Correct. You know what's very interesting about metal? It handles high heat pretty well.
Look, the last time Catalina went into a very unadvised
Hot room.
location without a vac suit, she ended up with no eyes. They went pop. So, and she ended up in her current
know.
situation of being metal.
Mhm.
So, that is not her first instinct.
Mhm.
She's got a point.
What is her first instinct?
To figure out how to make the hole bigger.
Okay.
pressure is there behind an insta panel?
Not enough
not enough.
to deform the earth.
Okay.
And bear in mind that there's
Is it
200.
just earth, or is it like a metal tube? I thought it was like a metal tube.
An insta panel? It's a panel, not a cylinder.
I don't think it's going to work regardless of what material it is, but it is probably, I'd say beyond the tree, the inside of the tunnel is metal, yes.
Okay. She also has a rod, one of those expandable rods.
Just so you know, there's 250 meters of tunnel to expand.
Yeah. That's the other problem.
So are you spending, I'm going to say you are spending your turn looking at the contents of your bag going, and then we move on to Charles.
Yep. Done. Hey, Lockie, do you have any ideas on how we could make this bigger? Dimitri? We got to get down here somehow.
While chasing the cow. I got a few ideas, but I got told not to blow stuff up.
We might need to.
So, Charles, I'm going to say, for the sake of comedy, there probably would be some small windows in this tent. I'm sure you have been in tents before that have like those thin plastic panels at various points that you can like poke your head out. I'm going to say, as you are aimlessly pinwheeling throughout this cavern, you grab onto the wall of the tent and pull yourself to the window, and every so often as you rotate, you see this giant space worm. You hear the sound of Pim going, "I found it!" And the worm just goes.
And Charles is just like hanging there, just going, motherfuck. So what is my current direction of travel?
You are
If I may ask.
Your path is probably roughly estimated to be this. You are more or less following the interior of the donut, but are likely to just randomly collide with things. You can't really predict the path you're going to take, but it is currently counterclockwise around the inside.
Cool. So what I'm going to do is over comms very quietly, I'm going to be, Pim, shut the fuck up and jump into the space. And as I say that, I'm going to try and start slowing or moving the direction of travel.
Okay.
Do you think telling it that Catalina is friendly will calm it down?
Making any noise is a bad idea.
I think we're beyond that point.
Okay, Charles, please roll me telekinesis with wisdom.
Thank you. Not too bad. 7 plus 4, so 11.
Okay. You feel the spines running, the phantasmal spines that run up your back, tingle, and, pardon my wording, grow more erect as you enact this force. If you can think of better wording to describe that, I'd love to hear it.
That doesn't have a sexual innuendo?
Yeah, no. It's not going to happen.
I'm being given a request. Yes.
Oh, God. I'll have to wait till next turn, because I was like, I'm also going to, see if I can break off part of one of the stalagmites or stalactites and, piff it across the cavern using telekinesis to try and make a distraction.
That does sound cool. But for now, I'd say with your powers, you are able to it's weird. So, your only consistent frame of reference is the tent. I'd say you are able to do it, but it's basically you exerting the force on the tent around you.
Yeah.
And just slowing it down.
Basically how I like use platforms and lift myself up and down on them. It's the same sort of thing. I'm just using the tent as a whole at the moment. Am I in my spacesuit?
No, you didn't. You did not, nor have you had time to actually properly put it on, because every time you tried, you bounced into a different part of the wall.
Well, that's not handy.
I agree. So you are able to halt your descent roughly here. So you're kind of floating in space. You're
In the
kind
center
of
of the two gravity wells.
yes. You're kind of moving a bit, but it is taking active effort on your part to maintain your position, and you can feel the tugging and twisting of the different forces around you. It's a very strange sensation.
As soon as I'm in that space again, I like as soon as I'm in the space between the two gravity wells and as close to like stopped as I can get, I'm gonna quickly try and put my suit on again while I'm not being bombarded by spikes.
It takes you. It normally takes you about 5 minutes to put a spacesuit on properly.
But I need to put it on or else I'm going to die.
Okay, you begin trying to put on your spacesuit.
It's either that
Yeah.
or I use the last dose of regalia that I've got. And at the moment, until I know that Pim's in like mortal danger, I'm going to try and avoid it.
Okay. The worm goes. And this worm, though very large, cannot actually reach Pim from where you are. At least not initially. The worm's tail end is covered in tentacles that seem to be quite good at holding on to the spiky interior of this place. And so the worm basically crawls his tentacly butt across the ceiling and then begins to descend this big column connecting the two halves, and is just getting his face closer and closer to the source of the sound while just like sniffing and reaching around. There are no eyes on this thing. It's purely operating based on smell and tremor sense. So Pim, its turn is done there. You are not presently in mortal danger at this time, but he is looking for you. Dimitri, you're at the helm of the weird cigar ship. I will say, for the sake of convenience, you are probably, because it's a ship, it can go fast, and it's a small planet, I'd say you're like 2 turns away from being quite close to this hole, should you so choose.
Sure. Otherwise, I'm thinking, can I just leave this planet? Like, is the exit just wherever I feel like I'm in a spaceship?
That's not the aim of the game, though.
That's
were
not that simple.
you were told that the exit is not the same way that you entered. Basically, there's a manufactured atmosphere being sustained by a dome, so there's no like higher levels of atmosphere. There's above what's required to breathe. There's just the essentials and then a dome, and a hole was opened in that dome to allow you through. It closed behind you, and you were told that your way out was not through there.
Fair enough. Because as far as I know, we just materialized here.
No, we flew.
My apologies
A hole.
for not elaborating sufficiently. Yeah, so,
I
with
shall
that in
fly
mind,
to their position in the jungly bit.
okay. Lucky. Can someone tell me if there is an appropriate skill in this rule set for animal handling?
I'd say persuasion.
Yeah.
What do
with
they call it in
wisdom.
this one? Yeah.
Yeah, I would call it persuasion. Yeah. And this is not to say how you are spending your turn, Lucky. It merely informs what happens at the beginning of your turn.
Be leadership. There is
Yeah,
leadership.
you know what?
Yeah, that's
I'd
fair.
pay
He's
leadership.
chasing the cow, though.
No, he's trying to coax the cow.
Sorry,
okay.
I had my headset off while I was quickly giving Alice her food. What happened?
Can you roll me an appropriate skill to see you convincing the baby space cow to be friends with you?
Leadership.
Leadership. Okay.
Fucking
I think that
move.
sounds. Unfortunately, there's no animal handling in this.
So I just say,
There is culture alien, I guess, but that's not.
I did think about that, but it seems a bit too mean.
It is an with wisdom. You said.
Yes.
Oh, that's a -1, so it's a 7 then.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would be professional farmer. Yeah.
Just because I think it's cute. When the panic begins to set in and Catalina is just shouting across the forest at you, you stride back over in her direction with this adorable little space cow kind of in both arms. It's just kind of like curled up, and you're using your big gauntleted cyber fist to give this space cow pats that you have successfully
Cow.
persuaded to play ball for now.
Just quickly,
Mhm.
what is the pattern of its like fur or skin, or does it have a pattern, or is it just like a solid color, or?
Allow me to investigate the art I chose to use. Where did it go? Oh, hang on. I think I chose these guys. Oh, yes. It is mostly a grey color
Mm-hmm.
with patches of like red splotches, kind of akin to rocks across the back, with thin, flexible grass-like spines coming from the top of the head and kind of going down into tufts. I think I in fact posted a picture of their appearance. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, we did too. Yes. Like he's gonna just be coming back, patting it, be like, "I'ma call her Dottie."
Catalina's like, look,
Well, we can't get down there. Might as well have some fun.
we need. And she
It's
just spends
fine.
the rest
If
of his
I die,
turn being
at least you'll have a
exasperated.
friend.
How else do you want to try and get down there?
I was thinking explosions. Although no, I take it back. Explosions are bad. It will attract the worms. I don't know. We need to make this hole bigger so we can go down. Or a smaller?
You work on that one. I can get that hole bigger. Pulls out Vesuvius. Switches to a medium bore setting.
I feel like Lockie hands her the cow.
Yes.
And she's just like, okay.
Moomy. Moomy.
They're
I love
pet.
you, Moomy.
Take care of Dottie.
Okay.
Okay.
What power source are you using for the Vesuvius at this time, Lucky?
I have the backpack that it uses.
Mm-hmm.
Catalina has also packed spare batteries.
Okay.
I have got a spare B cell.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them, in fact. And then I also have the power armor at worst case scenario if I need it.
Okay. Alright, you are able to begin making progress. You pull out the Vesuvius. I believe you had already cut a hole into the side of the tree
Yeah, I think so.
to get in. So you basically poke the head of the Vesuvius in, widen the gauge once it's in there, spin it up, and just start cutting down. Because the interior of the shaft is already hollow, it's taking less force and therefore less power than you would expect. It's just kind of just buckling the exterior and causing the rubble to fall into the hole, which is good. But just based on how much the power is currently going down, you will not be able to make it all the way in. Not even close.
Catalina, I think, only packed 2 B-cell batteries as well.
That's okay.
Yeah, looking at that, Loki's gonna stop him like, yeah, well, that ain't gonna work. Run out of juice long before that. Do I
It's your
feel
turn.
like I could fit if I wasn't in the power armor?
Unfortunately,
No,
due to your
no.
current juiced up state, no. Catalina probably could because she is now even more slender than she was before, and a bit lizardy.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
But
She has these weird legs now.
But you
So
know,
then, the last thing you'd be saying is, Pam or Charles, you see any other way in there?
I'm not allowed to talk. Shh.
at that, Pim, it's your turn. You are currently in your little scarab, all nestled down low amongst the
Stealth mode.
stalagmites. The spinning, glowing orb that just says exit around it is hovering gently next to you. What do you do?
I'm not going to touch it. I'm going to enter stealth mode and move around some of this stalagmite
To what end?
to get away from the giant feckin' worm that's hunting me.
Okay, please roll me a stealth check.
Oh, that's where Pim is. I was like, where's Pim? He's just there.
He's tiny and little. I use the Voyager because it seems most appropriate.
Alrighty.
Oh yeah, stealth's the thing, isn't it?
Yes, please roll for it.
Yay!
How'd you do? Oh,
Well-
you
I rolled a 2 and a 1, -2. So 1.
oh my god.
Ah yes. Roll 20. I've missed your algorithms.
Your old friend. You begin to scurry away, but you collide ever so slightly with some of the rocky formations, and a portion like a stony cluster near where you were kind of falls into one of the shallow lava flows, and just begins to go and make noise, and
I really hope it
Steam?
pounces on the lava.
its attention is now honed in to where you were even more closely than it was before. And
Yeah.
and as you move and scuttle further, it is actively tracking your motion with its head as its tentacles pull it closer and closer and closer towards
Jump.
you.
I don't suppose I can ask you to leave me alone. down, boy. I'm gonna jump into the air and try to gravity, I guess.
Okay. You have a certain amount of available thrust, don't you?
Yes.
You used some of it to get to the center, so you'll probably be using a decently larger portion of it to achieve a lift. Roll me a science roll, please.
No, I'm actually going to use my dice for this one.
That's probably fair.
Science. Oh yeah, I've got a 1 in that, don't I? Because I learned.
You
I
did.
got a teacher, old lady. Yeah. So that's +2, 11.
Okay. You look around and you surfed those currents before. You time your launch just so that you are given a boost by the heat rising below you from the lava. You toot yourself up into the air, and you enter into a bit of a parabolic curve. What direction are you aiming for?
I actually kind of want to go over the worm.
Could you be more specific with the arrow tool, please? So you've gone up. Okay. Is it your goal to land on the worm or just go over?
Now, Party's not going to be happy with me, but the center doesn't have many tentacles, does it?
No. However, the circles all over it do look to be remarkably similar to sphincter as you are getting closer to it.
That means it probably shits out more tentacles. Oh, do I risk it for the biscuit or?
I don't know. Do you?
I feel like this is a go big or go home moment, but nah, I'll float past it if I can.
Okay.
I don't make much noise anyway once I'm in the air.
That's true. You launch upwards and you are entering into a parabolic arc. It'll take you time to fully realize it, but you are trending in that direction.
Thank God for
Catalina!
gravity movement with no sound.
Well, I am now standing there very befuddled with a space cow in my arms
Dotty.
that makes sheep noises.
It's a space cow sheep. We can get wool and milk.
Does it also lay eggs? Because then we can have an omelette.
Ah!
Oh, that's what we can name the race? They're the yolks.
Oh my god! The yolks.
I'm so upset.
We love you, Rory. I'm sorry.
I intentionally didn't name this species.
They are yolks.
Ah!
We have one.
Oh my god, I'm so upset.
We haven't had them long, but we love them.
Lucky, your problem is more power?
Yeah, ain't gonna be enough to get through. Not by a long shot.
Okay, I don't think I brought enough battery for this.
The one time you don't bring a breach in charge.
You, no, enough. You've had enough of those fun toys. There is limits. How far do you think this will go?
Like I said, not even close.
How far is Dimitri?
He is a turn away from hovering above you.
Okay.
And that ship does have its own built-in reactor.
And I do have a power coupling.
Hey Dimitri, how far from us are you? We may need to steal the power source from the ship.
I assume he's eating. Not far, he says.
I don't know. 3 dim sims.
Excuse me? Dimitri, are you snacking? Hurry up and get here!
Yet I'm flying and eating.
If you could down 3 dim sims in like what 10 seconds is a round, that's impressive.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm not going to show you because
Challenge accepted.
No shelving.
Oh my
I
god.
got her now.
You have how many in your mouth?
Well,
Put it in the old
technically none,
prison wall.
technically none, but if I hold my tooth, it says got some.
Okay. Dimitri is en route.
I fill my mouth up with dice. Then I sound like a real Russian, yeah?
Da. So, Catalina, having heard that, what do you do?
Gently set down the baby cow thing.
Mm-hmm. So the baby yolk begins to sniff and snuffle around the contents of your big duffel bag.
No, get that out of there. Lucky, we need to work out how
This
to connect the
see-through liquid
Vesuvius
looks
to
like
the ship
potato.
when it gets here. We're going to need as much power as possible. We need to get down there, and we cannot leave our shit behind. The ship is not out. Wait, is the ship ours? The
No.
ship, we can leave it behind. Whatever. We need to get back down there.
Hook it up's not a problem. He'll slide out the connector cable that he made.
Ah, resourceful.
Next up, I have inserted someone new into the initiative.
Oh no.
Professor Hodaka.
Yeah, I knew that was
Damn
gonna
it.
happen.
Ah.
Hello, comrades! How goes the search? I have been creating so much wonderful content, so much research, so much scanning. It's beautiful here. How's it going?
Can I pull out my gun and shoot the whatever it is he's using to record?
You can't actually see him. He's
But
calling
can
you.
I prepare for that?
No, because
You'd have to
it's
get
not
on the
your
ship.
turn.
Watch. Yeah, I guess.
Be warned, Rory.
So-
It might just happen.
Seems a bit counterproductive, but yeah.
So he's calling you guys. Do you respond?
I'll respond.
Well, he's on the
Mhm.
group call, isn't he?
Yes, he's on the group call. You can all hear this.
I'm gonna show him a picture of the worm.
How did you get there? I'm coming right away! I'm pinging your suits! I'll be right there!
He's gonna start digging?
Yeah.
he
First, he's going to fly into the dome.
he is pinging your suits. So he's currently he's using his tech to find you and is running across the forest to find you guys.
I'm just imagining Octodad running towards people.
Yes. Dr. Charles, the turn is yours.
Is it now?
Yes. You have halted your advance, and I'd say you can probably barely see the shiniest of metallic reflections coming off him as he begins his leap up into the air.
Awesome. So he's up in the air,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see it.
Just barely.
That's enough. So what I'm gonna try and do is I need to put my suit on because I can't open the fucking door to let him in. Ah.
Just goes past the window. So, fancy meeting you here.
Space.
I was thinking that.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is gonna go to the window
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to see if there is a like bit of rock or something close to me.
There is rock everywhere close to you.
Cool. I'm going to break a bit off and I'm going to launch it to over here.
Is your intent to to distract, to damage, to
Give me a
cause.
sec, guys.
Cave-in.
To distract.
Guys, I think the stream froze. Hang on.
Damn it. Okay.
It's not the
going
stream,
on?
it's my computer. It's having a hard time.
If that's the case, I'm gonna PPR.
Okay. Sorry. My computer is hardcore struggling for some reason today, and I'm not sure why.
You don't have a download going?
Nope, everything's closed. Not even open. We're fine, apparently. So you can hear us okay? It's just the video that's been frozen? Okay, it might just be Discord that's broken today.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the boxes on the side, pop it up.
Okay, okay. It's my Discord, absolutely, that's just caked it. I
Yeah.
don't know why it's just Discord, and yeah, it's just being a bit silly.
It's great because Rory is paused in a very good thinker's pose.
Okay.
Under the pain.
Oh look, there it goes. You can see me swiveling now. You can see just how pale I am in this light.
And suddenly, Rory is.
And he is gone. Oh, I forgot to share my screen again with the audience. Oh, whoops, pardon
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. Because when you crashed, you forgot to put it back on again.
I've been making progress. What do you think?
Who dat?
That's the dungeon master.
To master.
A chibi dungeon master. It is cute.
Hey,
And murderous.
trying to remember how to do hands.
With fingers.
Is it working?
Yes.
No.
Okay. What were you doing again, Charles? Oh yes, you shot the rock at the other rock to make boom sound.
Yes. The rock that's away from Pim.
Okay. You reach out with your telekinesis. You break off the tip of a stalagmite and go and launch it through the air. I'll say you are able to launch it with sufficient speed, and because you aren't really aiming for anywhere in particular, you can overcome the weird gravity down here and hit roughly where you're aiming for. It's not precise by any means, but it does the job. And
Yay.
hey, Smooch. And the creature responds thusly. It looks. As soon as the impact is felt, the head goes from looking down at the core to up, where the impact occurred. In this moment of indecision, you see that the various sphincter that cover this creature open ever so slightly,
He keeps saying sphincter.
and you see emerging from them are lots of babies.
Oh,
That's terrifying.
why?
Feck, you knew it.
Amusingly, you have seen two creatures that exhibit the same traits that are present in one of these. You saw a man who was covered in tentacles and another man covered in sphincter and was in sphincters and was exuding maggots. Both properties are present in this creature. As the babies launch themselves off the parent and fall towards the core, almost as though to cover its bases, the parent rears its head up and looks towards the source of the collision and begins to pursue and moves back up. Probably just scuttling and scurrying, but leaves behind these babies on the core.
Bubbles.
Baby! Baby,
So
space
much
worm!
displeasure in this situation. So the worm has fecked off.
And but has exuded infants just in case.
It is really hard to see those little worms because they are the same color basically as the background.
That is entirely fair.
I don't know if there's anything you can do about that.
Oh, actually, this is perfect. I can find worms that are a different color.
Well, that one didn't help, that color.
These appear to be translucent.
I'm getting an NFT feeling about these multicolored worms.
Why?
Those the rarest.
Hey, it's down.
You know what? Here we go. Oh wait, green? Is that? How's that?
That's better. How about for you, Mikhail?
I'm always having trouble seeing, but yeah, I can see black things. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's more important though, because we want to make sure that you can see as well. It's not just about us.
There we go. That'll do. There's some worms. My bad. Dimitri! You make it above where your friends are broadcasting from. You can't properly land on the surface, but if you want to, you kind of drop the ship on top of the canopy and just leave it parked there, maybe.
Can I land on top of the specific tree? Does
Yeah,
the hole
probably.
extend all the way to the top?
The hole extends all the way to one of the lower branches.
That was not fully hollow all the way up, with just stuff sticking on the outside.
Yes.
And what am I trying to do here? Are we trying to make the hole bigger? Are we trying to force this ship through the hole? Get the Lena?
No, we need the ship for power so that we can make a hole bigger down this tree with Vesuvius.
Okay, well, I'm here. Like, I can park it next to the tree or on top of the tree, or... Hey, is that the cow?
No, it's Donnie.
Don't pass.
I have really... I the recipe for, like, mincemeat beef patties and, like, putting two bits...
Dimitri, he's named it.
And?
I don't think dinner is the intention.
Maybe the dinner is for something else.
Sure. I think he hopes to add it to our garden.
Don't talk about Dottie as if she ain't right there. It's not it. It's Dottie.
Do you even know he's female? You know, it's okay. It's fine. We can deal with this problem later. Dottie can come with us as long as it survives. We need to make it safe first. So if you don't want it to turn into steak, which sounds really good right now, actually. I'm kind of hungry. It's not good. We need to get down this hole.
So,
Humans in their stomachs.
So, hearing what's happening over the comms, the two remaining soldiers who were on board the ship are trying to assist. One is using one of their spools of cables and are basically lowering this big chunky cable down through the canopy to the ground. The other is sharing his view with you, Dimitri, and is kind of standing over the ship's reactor with one end of his cable going, where should I put?
Okay, there is a plug. It has like a square hole with 2 pins.
Okay.
Stuff it in there and give it a twist. It will lock.
Ding! And now we get to Lockie's turn. You see this cable that touches down on the ground next to you buzz for a second as a current begins to run through it.
Oh, yeah. Plug her in. Full bore.
Yep. You turn off all the safeties.
Let me turn off the safeties. It has no safeties.
Of
Oh
course
no!
not.
No, it does. It has restrictors. They can be
Mhm.
removed.
Don't
That's
lie.
why Lockie was testing the unstable mod on the railgun, who is for the Vesuvius.
Oh God. Ash, why would you do this to me?
Does. I told you this when I was testing it.
Yeah, but I forgot. You will tell me so many disturbing things.
It's his fault.
I have to repress all the disturbing things you tell me about this campaign.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, you are burrowing down. Can you please roll me? Tech post tech. I don't know.
Post tech, I can do that. Come on. That's a 5 and a 6 plus my post tech. That's a 13 plus whatever stat.
Mm-hmm. So
This is
my
why
men-
I'm here.
So my mental image for this is incredibly disturbing. You are because you have to use both your hands to stabilize your aim of this thing. Imagine, if you will, you are in kind of a partially squatted down position. You have both legs on one side of the tunnel and your head firmly planted against the roof on the opposite side. Basically, you are cautiously shuffling down back and forth as the bore digs deeper and deeper and deeper. You have enough power to do this now, but it's so janky.
There's also a rope that's been run all the way down.
Uh-huh.
Because we have multiple ropes, we tied them together. Just letting you know, it exists.
Yes.
There.
All good.
So
Might be good to tie that around myself and
I was
you
gonna
so that
say,
you can
I think before
support
we
me.
did this, Catalina would pull the rope back up, And-
That is sensible.
tied the
Demon
end around
worm
Lockie,
meet
and just
ropeworm.
is like letting it down slowly, just in case.
Yeah.
Fluffy.
All
Fluffy cat.
good.
Fluffy cat.
Another thing we can do, because you said the sides of it after a certain depth was metallic.
Mm-hmm.
Lockie would probably curve the cut so that he could keep part of the metal surface so that he could magnetize his boots.
Very, very smart. So you are cutting further in one side. But yeah, that is really smart and entirely doable. So which way you want? He's my kitty. You are burrowing down and down and down. Pim!
Free floating.
Are you continuing your arch?
I'm going to just. What would you call it? Orbit.
Oh. Yes. You are attempting to.
I am
Step
debris. Yeah, I am nothing but debris.
You are one with the dirt.
and the dirt is one with you. We now return to the top of the round, and I will say prior to Catalina acting, further things happen. This red X that I have placed off towards the side is where I imagined the entry hole would be. And as there is currently debris being sloughed off in that direction,
Where?
over here, like
There.
Yeah, that works.
That is not the place I want the worm to go.
the worm is probably seeing and feeling debris falling out of that hole. And so the worm is probably going to continue in this general direction, sniffing and snapping around, feeling the debris. But because there was an impact felt, you see the worm basically wrap its face tentacles around the point of impact and is basically just chewing and churning up the stalactites in that point just to make sure that there's nothing there, just like sniffing around, investigating, but essentially finding nothing.
They're the kind of eater that also eats the eggshell, aren't they?
And the bones, and the skin, and the hair, and the food that they were also just eating, and the ground that they were standing on while they were eating.
Say no more.
As I'm sure you're aware, turns are becoming a bit loose as there is no super immediate danger at the moment. So
I'm trying to avoid killing the worm as much as possible because I
Yes.
don't want to.
I am going to take us out of initiative, but I myself am going to continue to progress with what the worm does as Lockie burrows, unless people have any objections to that.
No, it's fine.
No, that's
Okay.
fine.
Boop. So, Pim, you are arcing through space. Where is your intended location, or is it just space?
Orbit.
Orbit? Okay.
We.
Charles, you are holding position, and as you see the worm sniffle around your impact point, you can see Pim is growing ever closer to you, and probably will pass you by.
I'm going to try and. I really need to get into this fucking suit. I'm going to try and pull him to the exterior of the tent,
Okay.
so that I can softly land him on the exterior of the tent and then proceed to put on my suit.
Roll me telekinesis, please.
That's 8 plus 4.
Okay,
12.
Pim. You feel a course correction come towards you, and as your orbit tilts you, you see a very familiar set of eyes just poking out of this weird little slit in the side of a white pressure tent, weirdly floating in the space. And then you
Well, that's not terrifying.
and then you kind of collide with it gently. The tent kind of goes and warps a bit, but you are on the surface.
Have you tried aloe vera? It works wonders.
Quiet. I need to put the suit back on. I proceed to try and put my legs into the bottom of the suit so I can start pulling it up.
It's a weird combination of effort because you are having to maintain concentration on holding your position in space. Your mind
The thing is,
is
I've got culture spacers, so I imagine I would have been trained to put a spacesuit on in 0G.
yes, but
back
while
when I
you
was traveling.
while you were also concentrating on holding your position in space as you are being affected by a variety of different gravitational forces while there was a giant space worm about to eat you?
Probably not so much.
When you put it like that, you make it sound like he didn't prepare for this.
For this exact moment, probably not. So you are able to continue doing it, but you probably put both legs in the same leg hole more than once in your panic. But that's okay. It's all part of the process. Lucky.
At this point, I'm just like, Pim, warn me if the fucking worm starts coming towards us.
Lucky, you are continuing to tunnel. Down and down and down you go. When he stops, nobody knows.
Starts humming to himself. Dun dun da 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 dun da 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 da.
Dun, da, 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 dun, bum, 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 bum.
Or if it's not that, it's I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole.
Diggy diggy hole.
Diggy diggy hole. There's just sprays of clay and metal shavings and all kinds of nonsense
Rock and stone.
just colliding with your faceplate and bouncing off as you dig deeper and deeper, feeling just the slightest bit of pressure around your waist as Catalina gently unspools a coil of wire behind you as you drop. You get maybe 50 meters down when Charles, you would notice this. Charles, you have your bottom half in the spacesuit when Pim would probably bring your attention to something. The worm has his tentacles planted on some stalactites, looks down from his perspective at the ceiling, and begins to burrow. Quite close to where the entry hole is.
I'm gonna send a message to Catalina
It's
and
like, guys, it's coming towards you.
I'm literally sending a message going, "Don't worry, guys, I'm sending help."
Love it. System sounds. Who said you were allowed to make noise? Like, actually, legitimately, I turned them off.
Oh. So yes, the worm vanishes and is tunneling upwards. Lucky, can you roll me a perception check, please?
I certainly can try. Just the words that I would use for a perception check.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Dun, dun, da, 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 dun, da, da. So I rolled a 2,
Okay.
-1.
Well, the trees are in the way, sort of.
He's currently 50 meters underground. I was rolling to see if he could sense the vibration of the worm
Oh, no.
coming.
He's just the
God,
sheer
we have-
energy coming through the Vesuvius would be too much.
Catalina said, "We shouldn't hurt them," and now we're about to have like a full Hercules cuts the head off of the Hydra.
Now I'm going through the fucking thing.
Okay.
It's gonna regret its life decisions.
So, though you probably can't feel it coming, you would probably see messages sent about it from people.
No, Pim just says sending help.
Yeah, like Charles probably sent a better message, but like the way Pim sees it is, yeah, they're gonna get hit quicker now.
Basically, I would have just said, hey, there's a worm on its way towards you.
Lockie, who probably isn't paying attention, ignores it, and Catalina. Oh no, it comes across the HUD.
Yeah, but still,
Yeah.
even with Lockie knowing this, would you care?
I rolled a 1 for perception. He is not paying attention.
Okay.
He is in his own world.
Not reading the HUD updates, not paying attention to the warning signs from the Vesuvius' interface growing more and more insistent as you run it non-stop without sufficient cooling. You're just like, it's fine, girl, you can take it.
Yeah, I mean, we did build a hose for a coolant pump as well, but I'm assuming this ship does not have sufficient cooling to do that. It was more for the Milan.
Indeed. So, Catalina, you've seen this message, and Dimitri also sees this message. Dimitri is actually, Dimitri and Catalina are themselves probably feeling pretty safe because you know that the worm doesn't breach the surface in the forest. Your fear is probably more aimed towards Lucky, who is much more likely of a snag.
Catalina, as soon as she gets the warning, goes, Lucky, be careful! There's a worm on its way!
You just hear back, I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole.
Facepalm! Not actually because
All he
she's
actually
holding
hears
the
is
rope.
just the Vesuvius just running. Sound like it's about to explode.
He probably can't hear it over the sound of all the rock being just
I mean,
disintegrated.
it's in your ear.
It's like gravel in a blender is the sound.
I mean, it's
Okay.
in your ear.
That is true, but also you're presently feeding him cable.
Yes. She's just yelling at him.
Are you continuing to feed him cable?
No! She's gonna tug on him. Get his attention. Lucky!
I'm gonna roll another perception check.
Good call. I approve.
That cocked. Alright. That was a roll of a 7, -1, so 6.
You would probably notice that the comforting feeling of a literal lifeline is.
He'd stop for a moment and be like, what's going on?
There is a worm coming at you!
Is it the same one?
Duh! You still have Molotovs? It probably won't work. Never mind.
I got grenades.
We probably shouldn't blow it up at close range.
I wonder if the Vesuvius can cut through that thing.
Oh, boy, moi. That's probably as much as our turd can handle.
It's a good question.
Lucky, you've turned off the Vesuvius. You see the heat warnings are gradually dropping from red to orange and going, oh, this is probably a smart decision. But you realize that as I'm sure you've used like a lawnmower or a strimmer, and after a while, the feeling of vibration becomes so constant that when you turn it off, your body is like continuing to vibrate a bit, just like it's compensating.
It feels like it anyway.
Yeah.
You have that feeling in your body, and so it's almost too late when you realize that there is another rumbling coming in at a different frequency, bearing down upon you. Can you please make me an evade roll, Lucky?
I can certainly try.
At disadvantage.
Okay. That is a 13 and a 12. What is my evasion?
I don't know. I had to close my character sheet.
Ah, it is a 10. I believe I passed.
Diggy
Okay.
diggy hole. Worm.
So you see in an instant a portion of the wall next to you is being chewed upon, and in this moment of like, oh, you see the worms giant maw.
Is Dimitri here? Is Dimitri here with us?
Nick?
Oh, no. Actually, Nick went to the bathroom.
Okay. He's on the ship still, I would assume.
Okay. Would Molly be within range of where Lockie is?
No.
I was going to say, first of all, let's finish describing what's happening.
Yes, because that's a very important detail, and I like being able to describe things. So you have this moment of, oh god, there it is, what do I do? You have two choices, Lockie. A rapid burst of power down, or a hasty clamber up. Which direction do you choose?
Up. Because if I go down, it will cut the cable.
Okay. You've been very smart to have your feet planted on this metallic surface, and as you see this mouth coming towards you, you let go of the Vesuvius, knowing that you have it strapped to you, turn around and just run directly up the metallic plate, and see the worm just go and nom past you and proceed beyond. You can see that as it's going by, that part of its movement is actually applying suction to the walls of the hole it's making with these sphincters and using it to like pull itself along, concertina style.
I'm going to switch on my optical array and try and scan through the ground a bit. See if I can pierce enough to be able to at least get a bit of a head start warning next time it comes towards me.
Okay.
I know it won't be able to, see it moving around in there because it's too thick of dirt, but at least some kind of warning. See like a heat signature coming through the ground or something.
What's a good roll for that, do you think?
I don't know.
I'm going to say tactics, because that is a very tactical decision you're making, and I respect it.
Okay. Tactics I can do. Especially with a roll like that. That is an 11.
Okay. I'd say you are able to jerry rig up a mixture of thermal and tremor sensors inside your suit. You have the vibrational frequency of the Vesuvius playing on the HUD, and I basically have your HUD tuned to ping if it senses another kind of oscillation that's running at a different frequency to your own equipment, which I think makes sense.
He's gonna stand as still as possible, like just let the magnets hold him in place for a bit, and just listen out and wait, basically, to see if it comes back his way, but also to give the Vesuvius even more time to cool.
Okay. It is continuing to pass by, and as soon as it leaves you behind, you can see that emerging from the center of the mess of tentacles at the rear, it is exuding soil, as though it is rapidly ingesting and then passing the soil behind it as it finishes. So the hole you made is closed, but the soil beneath you is like steaming warm from the heat of being inside this worm, and is quite soft to the touch. Like if you're bold enough to reach out and touch it, your hand kind of quite easily sinks into it.
The moment he will be patient and allow Vesuvius to cool.
Okay. Pim and Charles, what are you doing?
Am I in the suit yet?
Maybe.
What the fuck?
Pim is watching cartoons.
Oh my god!
Apparently, that's I'm in the suit. That's the like the da 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 da.
Yes.
No, I'm watching it without sound. Like, only I can hear the sound, you know, because it's like internal.
Then where's that actual sound coming from?
The actual sound is just code. I'm interpreting it in my mind.
Okay, Charles, you are able to get the suit on.
Okay. As I finish like sealing the helmet, I'm just like, and I sort of think, no, I should be fine. I unzip the doorway, sort of get out, hanging onto the side of it, and I press the button that packs it back down again.
How long does that take?
I think it's relatively quick. It goes up around the same time as it goes down.
That's actually really, really handy. Pressure 10, pressure 10, pressure 10, pressure 10. Pressure 10. There you are.
It doesn't actually say.
Pressure 10.
I imagine it used the same sort of thing as the
Insta-panel.
the Insta panel.
Okay.
So I imagine the entire thing's just Insta panels that are.
Well, if that's the case, it doesn't go down. At least not easily. So it goes up quickly for emergencies, but can't be packed away as easily. So you could leave it here if you want, or bring it with you.
I'll leave it for now.
Okay. You leave the tent behind.
And I'm just sort of like.
And they're currently floating in space with Pim. You see these little baby worms are scurrying all over the surface of this central planet. Some are like snapping and fighting with each other kind of playfully. Just being babies, you know. It's adorable.
So I'm gonna like open my medical bag, pull out my bioscanner, and just sort of like float it over to one of them and give it a quick scan, so I've got some form of like basis on how the worms work.
Make me a science roll, please.
Cool, double sixes.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
that is +1, and that'd be using intelligence, yeah.
Yes.
So 13.
These worms are a lot simpler than you would expect. Based on what you're scanning, these are very much just babies. They don't have a lot of the murderous displays of terror you saw from this big one. They don't even have the tentacles at the butt or the armor plating. They kind of just look like the gooey center of a worm. You would guess that, based on what you're seeing, that this is like the caterpillar stage of the worm. It's quite simple. It's just growing and probably being nursed by its mother. Kind of also akin to a marsupial, so they can and probably would ride around inside and extract food from the mother until they are large enough to be independent, and then they'll probably go into a chrysalis and then come out more fully developed. But,
Right.
yeah.
Like, well, those can stay put. I'm just sort of like, Pim, if you want to hop on, I'm going to go over to where we got in.
You mean where that giant thing just went?
Yes, basically.
Is there a polite way to decline?
You can stay here if you wish. I'm not fussed.
If you need me, I'll be near the exit ball. Wait, those things over there, the little worms. Nope, I'm staying in orbit.
Well, you stay there. I'll be back in a bit. As I just sort of like use telekinesis to sort of push myself through the 0G in orbit to around where the hole is.
Okay. Pim, are you staying with the tent which is now orbiting, or are you charting your own course?
I'm going to stay with the tent that's in orbit. And I'm going
Okay.
to steer it, just in case I need to catch anyone in it.
It's like a weird...
Sigma.
Oh, my God. So much pain. Charles, you silently and with some effort do kind of like push yourself through space, kind of getting yourself on a certain course and making minor telekinetic course corrections as you go, pushing against the walls of this cavern, and which are in turn pulling yourself. I'm going to take the worm a bit out of the way. It's kind of a bulky boy, so he's off in this direction, tunneling and burrowing and having a grand old time. But you are able to make it over by the hole. You can no longer see through it because it's been sealed.
Can I see where the worm went?
The worm probably entered around here where you shot the rock to distract it, so it burrowed through, and you can see kind of a weird spherical sealed over soft dirt that's probably rapidly hardening due to the heat down here. And you can see at various places that those rocks are beginning to weep a little bit, probably beginning the process of reforming the stalactites.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to back up a bit from where the hole that I originally came through was, and I'm going to attempt to widen it from the other side.
Okay.
My mind.
I've got to respect the hustle, I really do.
Where is you left the tent behind?
Yeah. I'm in my spacesuit now, so I am protected from the shitty weather that is down here. For lack of a better term.
Lava is lava. Hot lava. You float over there, having left Pim happily orbiting the inside of this planet. Like 290 meters away from you, just fine with that.
I'm a scarab. What am I supposed to do? Use harsh language?
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
I expect nothing less of Pim.
And you...
Distraction, if it works, it works.
And you begin to do...
Where is Pim? Is Pim in the tent?
Yeah, so
he's on the tent.
He's on the tent. You begin...
The tent is now a mobile saving tent, and I am the thruster.
You begin telekinetic earthbending.
How well does it go at the start?
Roll me telekinesis to see how it goes.
So I have 400 kilograms of force in my current state. It's a 5. It's 9. 9? Okay. You look up and you make like a rough approximation of the diameter you're going for. So you reach out, you focus on the rim of the hole, and you just go brush. The metallic interior crumples up like tinfoil and pulls the rock with it, and about a meter section gets affected by this. So it's just pull, and just like working your way through it, one chunk at a time. As I start, I'm just like, I look down at my wrist and I go, fuck it. I switch on my telekinesis bracelet.
Do you want to make you more powerful?
Yeah. Because it'll just double the amount of force I have, and I can affect up to as many individual objects as once as I have telekinesis skill level, which means twice I can like literally just go bang with both hands with 800 kilograms of force.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be like, fuck you, ground! For at least a minute anyway.
Until you run out of power on your B cell.
Yeah.
All good. You reach out and in rapid succession just go and just pulling the earth out and flying up towards it. Catalina, your room's gone dark.
Yes.
Your camera went dark.
Yeah. I may
Why
or
have
may
you
not
done
have
this?
messed with something. Hang on. No. No,
It looks
Camera's
dark.
just-
Mom,
just
it's
take
broken.
me.
Mom, it's broken.
It just hates me. This player light. It's just not working. Hang on a sec. I'll join again. Hang on.
You heard nothing, stream. You heard nothing.
Yeah, they actually hurt. No, it's just dead. Okay, it's just darkness. My old
Just
friend.
darkness. It's like my soul.
Hello,
Hello,
darkness,
darkness,
my
my
old
old
Nothing's
friend.
changed. I was sitting here. I may have affected by playing with some settings, but not
Yes, you
in
did.
Discord. In something else.
Anyway, Catalina, what are you doing?
Catalina is trying to keep a cow out of her fucking bag and hold on to with her foot, and trying to pull the rope as Lockie makes it loose. She's just keeping the tension on the rope.
Okay.
That's the best
So-
she can do, other than pull out a stun gun and try and stun this bitch.
So, Lucky, you've
Don't know if she
seen
can
the
see
worm.
it, though.
You've seen the worm pass by. The worm hasn't tried to breach the surface,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel the tremoring going away at this point.
Yep.
So there's probably a moment of silence shared between you and Catalina over the comms.
Yep. He's just waiting, watching his
There we are, fixed it.
Vesuvius call.
Broke again.
You guys keep cutting out for me. Are you guys still there?
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. It was just, it did its thing, I guess.
we are present. The gun returns to optimal burrowing temperature.
He's gonna take a step and wait
Mm-hmm.
and see if there's a response.
You see nothing.
Okay. Take a few steps.
Mm-hmm.
Still nothing.
Nothing. Though you are getting towards the freshly sealed over part of the tunnel now.
Alright. And he's gonna open up for like just a few moments of cutting and then stop again.
Okay.
Let's hope we can just keep him in a manner of confusion. It's like, which way do I go?
Nothing.
Alright, he's just gonna. Yeah. Alright then. Alright. Just start cutting again.
Okay. There is just so much you'll see when you're digging tunnels. I need to figure out what this worm is actually going to try and do here.
Did we bamboozle the DM? I
'Cause-
believe he's bamboozled.
Because currently there are two separate efforts being made against
Him off.
this worm's territory. So I'm going to roll on behalf of the worm to see what he's going to do. Okay.
It's always great when you get an okay.
So Charles,
In other words, you're fucked.
you are holding position about how far away are you? You're like 40, 45 meters away from the entrance to this hole. You probably would have been forced to draw closer to it as a result of your vision not working as well. You have to kind of get closer and closer as you are pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling and pulling. You feel like you are making good progress in as more of these chunks of metal and soil begin to fall past you as you pull them out and throw them away and just keep on going. Then you see something rather odd. There probably would have been a consistent trickle of soil and debris coming from above you as well from Lockie.
Yeah.
But that stops.
Uh-oh.
I start backing away from the hole because if it stops, there's something in the hole. So I'm like, yep, nope, fuck off.
What an interesting point you've made. Please make me an evade roll.
Oh, motherfucker. Oh, nice. 18. So yes, I make that.
Okay. Emerging from the direct interior of the hole and now aggressively writhing and snapping about at the air around the hole is this worm. Looking pissed and generally just very angry and displeased. This worm is just angrily writhing and sniffing. It takes everything you have to just push yourself back and away from what is happening to you. But this worm looks like it has a bead on you. It can smell you because you smell different and weird.
Delicious.
What do you do?
I'm going to basically grab the end of this part.
Yep.
Grab that and probably like launch it over here while throwing myself in this direction. Like using the inertia of the throw to like throw myself in a different direction.
Interesting. I'm currently less one arm because there's a cat on it. Yes, kitty, you are very warm. Okay, roll me.
I want to try and avoid killing the worm as much as I can, but
Can you make me a telekinesis roll, please?
that's a 6, so that's a 10.
A 10. You are able to pull off your maneuver. There is a snapping sensation as you shear off the top of the stalagmite and launch it away from you. And you, using that force, you push yourself backwards and away. And there is indeed a moment of indecision as this worm feels the tremble and looks in that direction. But then it smells the warm air. You suspect it's not going to fall for that kind of trick again. And proceeds after you.
Cool. Motherfuck.
Lockie,
Yes.
you were tunneling away happy as Larry. You could see a gentle, warm spot of light just blinking in and out of existence as you tunneled. It was soothing. It was a nice. It was a nice target to work towards as you dug. But then, gone. It blinked out of your view, and it happened far enough away from you that you didn't sense any tremors on your HUD.
Did I would see the heat signature change though.
Yes, you would. The heat signature would go from this little blinking dot to a more consistent. The entire diameter of the hole is now full of this warmth.
So tempted to, but I'm not going to.
It's probably at this point he'd get a message over the radio going, guys, help! As Charles is running away from a fucking worm.
Flying away as fast as he can, just going.
I'd play the Benny Hill theme tune if it wouldn't make me a target again.
Don't.
Yeah, Charles has called for help, so he's gonna pull out a grenade, pull the pin, and throw it down the hole at the creature.
Well, there goes Catalina's plan. Her face completes me.
Interesting. This messes with my timeline, and will force me to do a bit of a rewind.
No, that was after Charles has called for help. So.
Okay, unfortunately, the hole sealed itself up at that point because the worm had fully exited the hole.
Oh, okay. No, well, that's fine. No, that still actually works. He would still drop it down.
Okay.
Hoping the pressure would blow out the loose dirt.
It'll either blow out the loose dirt, cause enough of distraction that it will attract the worm again, or if the worm is still nearby, maybe damage it enough to distract it as well. He's hoping to not have to hurt the worm, but Charles has called for help, so Gondor calls for aid.
Gondor calls for aid. Please let me die to this worm.
Okay. You toss down a grenade. This is an interesting one because I did describe the soil as being loose and malleable. Nice Mooch, come back. You toss it down the hole and it lands on top of this freshly deposited soil. Above it is a metal cylinder. Below it is just soil. So it would impact and it probably would force a portion of this new soil to kind of dislodge and fall out and tumble in that direction. But it happened. I'd say some soil falls out, but I wouldn't consider it enough to distract the worm.
Yeah.
But as
the explosion of the grenade might.
As a result of this worm's boldness, you have now considerably. Well, it has now made your job a lot easier because the hard soil you have to work through, there's no less of it. Pim. I'd say, can you roll me a d12, please?
Well, knowing my luck tonight.
Luck's got nothing to do with it.
6.
6. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Purely based on random chance, your orbit has you here.
Yay.
As Charles begins to on all comms call for aid. What do you do?
Speed up the saving tent.
Okay. You are running quite low on your gas boosties, but you vent out a few more and increase your forward pace around towards. Charles, I'm going to make an attack roll against you.
You don't have to.
Oh no, I do. I really do.
Don't.
And yay.
Yeah, that's 17 on the dice.
This is where Charles dies.
So, Charles, you are flying away full on Superman style, just going, oh no, what do I do? And this worm, with surprising speed and vigor, is keeping pace with you, scurrying along the surface of the ceiling. You duck, you dodge, you evade as you fly, but it has your smell in its sights, I guess. And in a moment of panic, where you say to yourself, oh, "It's gone. Maybe it's," and you are swallowed whole by this thing.
Oh dear.
I hope this thing understands it's going to have a real sore stomach after this.
Your perspective is very strange at this point. It looks like there's a surprisingly complicated series of valves and flaps nearest to its head. It seems to be channeling you out. You see like a reasonably enclosed shaft that it isn't currently using that goes off into the darkness. But as you kind of tumble back, like a series of side flaps kind of open up and pull you in, and it kind of pancakes you against the interior of this creature. It's like it's put you under its tongue. And as you're kind of sitting there, like pinned with this force covered in goo, you realize this actually makes sense. If this creature is tunneling through the earth and it passes earth that quickly, it must have some way to filter out the food while it's burrowing. So it's basically slapped you under its tongue mid-bite and can then, in its own time, try and actually digest you.
Lovely.
Cool.
But that's presently where you are. You can't really see anything. You can't really move either. This tongue is quite large and tough. Do you have anything to say?
I would be more annoyance. Lots of annoyance.
Mm-hmm.
At this creature. To the point of just sort of hitting out with telekinesis at anything within sight.
Okay. You have the interior of a worm and a big flappy tongue.
Cool. I form a gun in my hand. Because I can do that.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Yeah, so all of a sudden there's actually a gun doesn't form. Basically what happens is I do this with my hand. I just make a gun shape and I fire. Because the gun doesn't actually need to be visible. It can be invisible.
And occupy the same physical space as your hand.
Mm-hmm.
That's so stupid.
Basically.
Finger guns. Beep 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 beep.
Oh God, what have I done, Nancy? Ooh, a chassou.
We got
Um,
raided.
So, ooh, hello raiders.
Yeah, which is awesome.
They're
just as my
friends.
camera stops working properly. Hey.
Yeah, typical.
Hi,
Yeah,
welcome,
it says
Evil
they may
Dwarf.
be
How you doing?
visible or visible at the psychic's discretion.
We
So yeah. I'm currently stuck in the mouth of a giant worm.
Giant space worm, because sci-fi. So,
So I make finger guns at this fucking thing and fire.
roll me damage. You're inside the creature. It's gonna hit.
Just gonna remember.
I was trying to avoid from doing this, but
So was I, but then it decided to fucking swallow me. So fuck it.
Okay.
I need 2d8.
Mm-hmm.
It's technically a rifle plus 2. Yeah. Okay. Where the fuck are my d8s? There and there. Ooh, nice. That's 14.
Okay. That is
I don't think I get any pluses from my actual telescope. Give me a second.
pretty big hit. I'm not going to lie to you.
No.
At this point, Lockie, can you make me a luck save, please?
oh dear.
Oh, goodness.
The worms are swarming.
No, I cannot make you a luck save. Not with a 2.
For the 2?
A 2.
Okay. I have good news and I have bad news.
Yes. Yes.
The bad news is your dear, precious Dottie has headbutted your lifeline.
That's right. Dottie, I forgive you.
And in a moment of, you know what? Actually, Catalina, make me a mental effect save.
Cool. Ash, what's our mental effect save?
That is. Let me bring it up. That is a 11.
I pass.
Okay.
I got a 13.
You are able to steal your nerve. Essentially, you are sitting up on the surface, very cautiously pulling out this wire, and then Dottie approaches you going, and attract your attention. And as your head is turned, she kind of like aggressively headbutts the coil and sends part of it falling into the hole.
Dottie, no! I pissed out. Okay, well,
So you kind of stumble and stagger after this coil. And Lucky, you kind of fall a
Yep.
little bit. That's the bad news.
Okay.
The good news is you cut faster. But not as well, but faster, and you cut through. And as you kind of stabilize from this weird, janky, awkward fall, you realize you've made it through to the soft, soily part
Yeah.
that you blew up with your grenade.
Yeah.
And you think, if I give it one more big blast, I'll be in there.
At that, I'd be calling back up to Catalina. Oi! Get your ass down here!
Yeah, no problem, sure!
Give Dottie to Dimitri. He'll take care of her.
Sure! And, she'll, look at Dimitri like... Cow?
Food?
Cat.
I'm trying to eat my pet!
Donkey!
How'd you like it if I ate Molly?
You could try, but Molly can fight back.
Just put this stupid space cow on the ship and make sure it survives, okay? Loki has adopted it. Just whatever.
Mm,
And then she's gonna try and help Loki. And stay
Okay.
holding on.
He did say get down here.
Cows do not do well in vents. Trust me.
So she's gonna. I forgot that he said that. Can I now fit down there?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, she's gonna.
I forget you also have the jetpack.
Yep. She's gonna loop the rope around the tree
Mm-hmm.
and then keep the end with her and start going down while loosening the rope. So it's going down from her, up around the tree, and then back down towards Lockie.
Okay.
So as you lower yourself down, you're also lowering Loki down?
Nope. She's just lowering us. Well, potentially. She's trying to keep the rope steady, but she's letting
It's
herself
kind of more
down.
of a counterbalance.
Yeah, more of a counterbalance.
Okay. You begin to descend as well. Charles, this worm is upset with you. Because you just shot it on the inside. In the gooey places. And you see...
I basically just shout, "Let go of me, Jim!" Because that's Earthworm Jim. Get it? Get it?
Terrible. I love it.
You see another flap begin to open and see acid is beginning to enter the chamber with you.
Cool. I used telekinesis to push it back down whatever flap that came from. Like, nah, you can have that.
That poor creature.
We will call it the backdraft.
We'll call it acid deflux.
Yep. It's like, nah, I'm good, thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for the offer, though.
This will actually be an opposed roll. It will be your telekinesis versus this creature's internal flaps and orifices.
Orifices?
It's a very unpleasant mental image, I know, but go with me on this.
Hey, drop the dice. Give me a second. Okay.
Okay.
One jumped out. Okay. So I rolled a 10, a 6 and a 4. That's
Okay.
plus 4, which means it's a 14.
I'm invoking a DM reroll for my own roll.
Oh.
Can you even beat 14 though?
Yeah.
Oh god.
Alright, I guess I will update the command.
Concerns me that he can.
But not with that.
If he actually manages to kill Charles, because then he will have done it intentionally.
But not with that roll, unfortunately.
Oh, you rolled worse?
I rolled better than I had previously, but not enough. You are still inside this creature, and basically, it's kind of a Moses situation where there's this flow of acid trying to get closer to you, and you are just like
So I'm basically Vader at the end of
spoilers.
Fallen Order. Just
Yes,
like, fuck off!
you are.
If they haven't played it yet, it's their own fucking problem. It's been out for years.
I was concerned it was going to be spoilers for fucking Obi, but still, you are.
No.
Yes. You are parting the tide of acid, just holding it back as various different flaps are pushing this fluid towards you. So, because this creature has good internal gut strength, you aren't able to push it back, but you are holding it at bay with your power.
At that point, I'm just like, do not make me kill you. I will if I have to, as I sort of like try and move my arm around so I can point the gun down those acid-laden flaps.
You look delicious, Pim. You have the Charles meal in your sights, or rather, you can see the worm. What do you do?
I need to roll a mental effect save.
Oh,
God.
okay.
That's not concerning at all.
No, it's very concerning.
16.
That's a pass. I'm hugging the kitty. I'm really glad that's a pass, by the way.
I mean, what exactly can I do?
I don't know. Give it a shot.
I'm gonna move the tent into it.
You gonna like collide into the side of the worm with the tent?
Yes.
Boing.
I love these sound effects.
You fly the tent towards this thing, and it kind of bounces up against the side. Can you make me an evade roll, please?
It's even better than before, 19.
Okay. You see as you kind of bounce the tent into the side of the worm, it tries to writhe its body in the direction of the impact, and you can see several of the sphincter kind of open and make kind of like a sucking, grabbing motion with their exteriors, as though the side of the worm was trying to grab onto the tent as it collided. But you were smart, and you were able to release a bit more of your remaining air to get away just in time. And
Take that.
It's like throwing a beach ball at a submarine. It's literally that.
Here's a question. What else can I do?
Don't know.
Does your scarab have like a taser or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
No weapons whatsoever. Charles, make me another telekinesis roll, please, as you are trying to hold back the tide of this cascading acid. Ooh, that's good. That's very good.
That is less good than last time.
Will the fact that I
that is-
distracted it give it a debuff or anything? No.
That is a 12, 7, 11.
11?
Yep.
I
I
rolled
rolled
a
shit
12.
that time. You rolled a 12.
I rolled a 12.
You realize the moment that thing, like, the acid starts to get anywhere near my suit, I'm shooting it, right?
I do.
Cool.
I guess you're shooting it.
I guess I'm shooting it.
Charles, you take 14 points of damage.
Oh,
Ow.
shiitake mushrooms.
You're not dead, are you?
No, I don't shoot it. I'm dead.
What?
For fuck's sake.
I've already taken damage from the lava.
Didn't you heal yourself?
Not completely.
He didn't have time.
I've been trying to get into the suit so I could help people get down here.
Well,
Well,
there
time
goes
for
the doctor.
Locker to go deep
14
diving.
is the health that I had.
Oh!
Time for Lucky to deep dive.
Sorry.
Shall we use
Do we claim a reroll on the damage?
I was gonna say, can
You
we
can if you want to.
claim a player reroll for Rory to have to reroll the damage?
Nah. Let's just have Rory wear this one, yeah?
You want me to just have killed Charles?
Yeah, like
He's-
Rory made the decision
dead
for
there.
rerolls.
On this one, I just rolled flat and I beat him.
Come on, guys, what are we
Yeah,
doing?
you-
Can I
try
claim
and
the
kill him.
reroll?
I mean, obviously we want to use a reroll.
Then do it.
Okay, we're gonna use a reroll on the damage.
Okay,
Hopefully I don't die.
I'm
Come on, guys, fingers
rerolling
crossed.
my damage. That is now 8 points of damage.
Okay. I am still barely alive.
Far out, man.
I fire!
Okay. Roll me some damage, please.
Double eights.
So 18 points?
Yep,
16.
it's a mag rifle, so 18 points of damage.
Hey. That's pretty damn good.
At that point, I'm like screaming, "Guys, help!" I don't want to do it, but I do want to do it.
Help! Help!
Help is on the way, dear!
What do I have?
What do you have? You look around and you can see various. You can see the beginnings of seeping wounds forming on this creature's tongue. It looks unhappy, and you can see some of its thick, caustic blood beginning to enter the cavity with the acid.
There's not much else I can do.
Okay.
Like, I can either try healing myself or take regalia
Your
to
call.
try and make myself strong enough to get out.
It's up to you.
Lockie is going to attempt to break through what's left of the hole that he needs to get through and just dive at the thing.
You cannot do that while being attached to the tether.
I am going to.
How much more of the hole is there? Made to cut through.
Like 30 meters, but given that it's now fresh soil, it'll be dead easy.
Okay.
You can basically fall into it, and the receivers will keep on cutting. And it has enough charge to do it.
Cutting the cable loose and dropping. So dropping his magnetic seal as well.
Okay. Catalina, you were beginning to belay down into the hole after Lockie, and your counterweight disappears. What words do you yell over the comm, Lockie, as you enter?
Lucky?
Is the
No, that's what Catalina yells. That's what Catalina yells, alright?
As she like loses any sort of like semblance of I'm being held up, just pizza!
You are now both falling, yelling that.
He has magnetic seal boots as well. It's her own fault for not using them.
She has the to engage the what's it called? The rocket.
The jetpack.
Yeah, the
Okay. You halt your descent. Lockie drops out of this thing and begins to pinwheel across the inside. You are seeing this for the first time now, Lockie, and the cavern is immense.
How close is that worm to me?
You get shot out. The worm is 85 to 65 meters away, depending on where you shoot it.
Do I know you're in the cabin? Because at that point I just go, not the head!
Oh, I need to check the
Range.
range, yeah. Book open up. Gee, it's only 40 meters for the grapnel launcher.
You could grapple to there or there.
I'm gonna grapnel to the top one and attempt to swing my way around. I'm going full Indiana Jones on this.
Lucky man, does whatever a weird alien spider can.
Okay. Roll me.
Yep.
Is there a skill check for the grapnel launch if it's being done challengingly? I feel like it would be like combat projectile, personally.
It does not say anything in the thing.
Okay.
Or
say
if it is, it's not in that entry that it's got.
Tactics or
I will allow
exosuit.
combat projectile personally because it's
If it's combat projectile.
it's like a gun. You're shooting it. It fires a projectile. It makes sense.
In that case, that is a 13.
Yeah. You are able to secure a tether onto this rope, and because you are falling, because you don't have that tether, the kinetic energy spins you round. You will have to cut the cable at a certain point to.
It's Worm's World Party, motherfuckers!
You fall down, pull out the grapple launcher. It connects to the stalactite. You swing. You fly towards it. You cut the cable just in time, and are now hurtling towards the worm, past the tent that Pim is riding on top of.
And
Yes.
full bore Vesuvius at it.
Into the side of it.
Into the side of it.
There will purely by virtue of the action economy, there is one more round
Oh, yes, of course.
for Charles to do something before you are able to do that. So Charles, what do you decide to do? You have some time to think about it.
Yeah, but it's thinking, fucking, I only have one dose of regalia.
I'm a coming, boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and squeeze my way out while I slap on one of the other bracelets, which is my biosonic one, and heal myself. So I'm feeling real fucking weak right now. The only thing that's strong is like my mind. And it's the only chance I've got.
Okay, roll.
Like, I take any more damage and I die.
Roll for the healing first. Which I think at this point should be 3d6
Yes.
plus 3.
Don't think so.
I'm forgetful.
No, 3. No, it's 2d6 plus 6. So instead of the plus 2, you just get another plus 4. Same amount of dice, just an extra 4, like guaranteed healing.
Okay.
That's a 10, so 16. So I'm fully healed.
And now you are using your movement to try and wriggle free.
Yes.
Okay. Please roll me athletics with dexterity, I'd say, because you are trying to be all.
Athletics with no modifier because I don't have any. That's a -1. That's a 10.
Okay.
It's not too bad.
I just rolled I just rolled double sixes. You're going nowhere.
Like, I hate this worm.
You
I'll be
aggravated
there
it.
You
shortly.
walk with rhythm.
Tasty, tasty, Dr. Charles.
You aggravated it, man.
I still have a gun in my hand, remember?
Yes, you do. Unfortunately, it's now Lockie's turn. You know what? Actually, it's Pim's turn. Because Pim's also right there, and he may choose to do something.
Do we have a turn order?
No, I'm winging it.
Okay.
I'm gonna jump into the Romney.
Okay.
He can. It's close.
He's right there. There is this beautiful moment of Pim just on this beach ball tent, and he's going like, "What can I do?" And then in slow motion, Lockie swings by Batman style, pulls out the Vesuvius, looks in your direction, winks a cocky and winks at you, and you go, "Yes, Father." You jump off the tent and float towards him.
It's more like my Uber has arrived with my shotgun.
This is too beautiful. Lockie, are you making any attempt in your flight to facilitate his mounting with you upon seeing him?
Choice word.
If at all possible, yes. I suppose I've got
Okay.
the maneuvering thrusters that I can use. Yes.
Indeed. Lockie, roll me. Roll me exosuit
Okay.
with Dex as the assist roll. Pim, you need to
Okay.
roll me science or vehicle space.
With
would be-
dexterity, thankfully for the +2, that is a 7, so it's just
Okay.
a pass.
Perfect.
10.
That becomes an 11 with the assist from Lockie. You would love to have like that beautiful moment of just sliding in perfectly, but life doesn't work quite that way. You are able to get 3 of your pincers locked on, and then adjust your body and slide in. And Lockie, as you enter, you feel a surge of energy rush through you, which now gives you a +3 to Dex.
Hi.
Rory didn't think this one through.
This should not be possible within the rules of the game.
Can I please, would it be possible to shoot with the shotgun?
Yes, because this is too badass not to allow. Both of you make attack rolls.
What's
I am
its AC?
concerned.
3.
I rolled a 19.
I rolled a 15, but that's a +2 from burst fire, so.
Yep, at the very least, you're gonna both of you roll damage.
Oh shit!
It's
I've
3d8, isn't it? Or is it 2d8? 3d6?
3d8. Yeah.
For a spike
thrower
thrower,
is
yeah.
disgusting. Yeah. What is Vesuvius? It's 2d8. It's been a while.
Holy fuck, I just rolled 2 8s and a 5.
I just rolled an 8 and a 7.
Y'all want to calm your farm, yo? Maybe just a little?
Nothing yet.
That's a ridiculous amount of damage.
Okay, I'm making.
That's a 15 from the Vesuvius.
Charles. The worm spits you out.
Oh, thank God for that.
That was really British of you.
Was it? Well then, allow me to make it worse. As Charles, the worm spits you out onto the surface of the center planet. And as you kind of lie there in goo, your most of your left leg and part of your right searing with worm bile, you see several baby worms poke their heads up from between the stalactites, going.
Oh no, you don't! Like, use telekinesis to just launch myself into the air.
Back in the tent, back in the tent, back in the tent!
They smell their mother's bile. That must mean food. And you launch yourself up and away. Lucky, you and Pim are continuing a collision course with this creature, one that the recoil from your weapons has not sufficiently abated. What do you do?
I'm going in. Like,
I'm gonna like
in and through.
I'm just gonna, cock the gun, just input another slug, and just unload it into the worm.
Okay. That is your intent.
You guys went full hostile, man.
Catalina.
Hey, our friend! I'm sorry, but this is not hostile enough.
Catalina, at this point, you are still electing not to go down the hole, or are you? So that's my question. You have the option to descend if you wish.
I feel like she's halfway down the hole. You can hear some real suspicious yelling, screaming, bullets, noises, all sorts of stuff from below her.
Yep.
She's worried about the people above her. She's like, I better stop the maniacs. Boże moi. She'll descend.
Okay, you cut thrust and drop yourself out. You re-engage thrust, unable to reestablish relative equilibrium around here, and you see the moment when a gooey Charles gets full on launched out of the mouth of this worm and just slaps into the surface of this center planet like a wet tissue, while dearest Lockie, all four of his arms brandishing guns, going just unloading on the side of this worm as the two of them draw ever closer.
Oh, boże moi.
What do you do?
How's this for a wildlife sanctuary?
You guys are very lucky that there are babies, and also more than one one.
Can Catalina look around and see if she can find the way out? As in just
Okay.
as a cursory glance looking around, not sort of like actively looking, just like actively looking, but just like with her eyes look around and be like, what the fuck?
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Can you pull up my character sheet? I had to close it because my computer was spazzing out. And tell me what my bonuses are.
Catalina Sokolov. Her name is Catalina.
Ooh, 11 plus 0, I think.
Why is this all weirdly grey for me?
Maybe
Night mode?
because I put it on dark mode?
Oh yeah, good point. Perception is 0 for you.
Wisdom is also 0, right?
Yes, so it's a flat roll.
So it's 11.
Okay. You look around and casting your glance in various directions, and with that roll, I'd say that's enough to notice a certain point of light cuts through the browns and the oranges. You can see this tiny little bead of blue light nestled amongst the stalagmites.
She's gonna go over to where Lockie is, where she presumes Pim is also. I don't know how far I can get. How far can I get? I don't know how far
You
I've already travelled.
You can fly up to 20 meters with your boosters.
Okay. I just don't know how far down the tunnel I already went.
That was mostly falling, so now I know your intent. We're going to move back to Lockie and Pim as they unload another round. Actually, you know what? The worm
no.
has a
I was gonna
chance.
say the worm's
I
turn.
was
Yeah.
say, as she heads towards them, she's like, "Stop being so murderous, please."
I don't expect
But
Lockie.
boom.
But boom.
Oh, well, you've heard what Catalina had to say. Whether you choose to ignore it or not is another story.
It's the worm's turn.
The worm, seeing you coming, rears up. And kind of writhing in pain. There's a portion of its unarmed exterior that's just kind of riddled with bullets and plasma and holes. And it just angrily thrashes its entire body like a whip in your direction. Because it's pissed.
It's
I'd
pissed.
laugh if it hits Catalina during her monologue there.
Here's
Don't be mean to it, Slam.
Here's the thing. I did only roll a 4 on the dice. So you are able to not be hit by this worm. However, the worm does hit the tent.
It had a good run.
Not my tent.
My poor tent.
The tent goes flying, and because of the amount of force involved, flies off in this direction. And Charles, you saw that the amount of force required to puncture the tent wasn't sufficient, given how mostly blunted these spikes are. But with one good belt from this worm, the tent flies off in this direction and goes on these spikes and begins to sadly deflate. Pim, Lucky, it's your turn.
Jesus Christ.
Lockie's response is, "Get us an out. We don't have to kill the bugger, but we'll distract it for now."
Charles is mad because the worm broke his tent. Not because the worm tried to eat him, but because the worm broke his tent.
Charles is mad because the worm is annoying.
Charles is mad
Also,
because
it's just
the worm,
mad. What are you talking about?
You're delicious.
but not nutritious.
At this point, Charles is like, hasn't taken any, like, has minimal dose of regalia for a while. It's probably not the best for his psyche at the moment, considering where they are and what's been happening. Actually,
Oh no.
guess he doesn't lose it and go nuts and like try to kill the worm.
Lucky, Pim, please make your attack rolls if you are intending to attack.
I am not intending to attack. I'm going to grapple the side of it.
I
Probably not a good idea.
suplex the train, you guys. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine.
Well, the idea is to distract it until we actually find the way out of here. I do not want to kill it if I can avoid doing so.
Says Mr. 36 damage in one volley.
That was because it had Charles in it. Now it does not have Charles in it.
Okay. Can you please make me a strength athletics check to try and grapple this creature?
Okay, I can do that. That is a 10 on the dice plus 2. It's 12 total.
You're able to hold on. There is, however, one downside.
Yes.
If you really want to properly grapple this thing and hold on, you will have to place an arm inside one of the sphincter.
Yeah, man.
It's simply too large to not.
Well, taking one for the team. Charles better appreciate this.
You fly towards it, Vesuvius now held in one arm. You ball up a fist, and just as you're about to collide with it, you float forward and go, and then it just kind of holds on to you. It's equal part you grappling it and it grappling you, but you are about elbow deep in this worm at this point.
You are now
Delicious.
me.
Sorry, my neck cut there for a moment. It's almost like someone rolled a nat 1 and lost their sword and poop.
You are able to plant your feet on the surface of this creature, but you're kind of like squatting over the sphincter with your arm inside, going, now what? Charles,
Yes.
what you want to do there, bud?
What I was going to do was break off a 400-kilogram sliver of that stalactite and throw it at the fucking worm.
No, don't kill it! Don't kill it!
Don't
Because
kill
Charles is fucking annoyed.
It'll upset Catalina. Catalina wanted to leave it alone.
At that point, I'm just like, is the hole big enough to get the ship down here?
No.
Can
Not
I
even.
see any other way to get the ship down here?
Not really.
Oh no, we have to lose Hotaka's ship.
Oh no.
I'm thinking it's more the power supply in the traversal that might be what we need. Because we still have another 2 tests to follow.
This is true. Did anyone try talking to the worm?
Several times, yes.
But where you
What's with
speaking
Molly?
French?
At that point, I'm going to be like, the worm itself, if the ship was to follow right behind it, would the hole be big enough for the ship to follow?
Yes.
Cool. I'm basically just going to look at Lockie and be like, keep it distracted for a minute. I'll be back. As he's like, launches himself towards the hole.
Oh god. They're all gonna die.
By virtue of the fact that Pim just left because of bad internet and Ash has an early day, we're going to call it there for this week.
Keep it distracted. I'll be back. Vroom.
Cool, that makes sense because my
Fade to black.
freaking computer needs a restart. It's crapping itself hard.
This was a weird one, you guys, I'm not going to lie.
No shit! I ended up in a worm and almost dying.
You were delicious.
You're lucky I don't turn the worm into a kebab, okay?
I
Skewer it with a bigger piece of rock.
I dare you. I absolutely dare you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, on the flip
Just-
side,
Mm-hmm.
I did have fun drawing.
Just for your own information, I do not have a max HP written down in numbers. The max HP is written down as enough.
Yeah, I've had enemies like that when DMing. I'm
Guys,
just like,
the goal here is not to kill the fucking monster, it's to get out. I feel like we're gonna
I'm
fail
aware
our
of that.
mission.
I'm not
that's why
trying
I'm
to kill
trying
the
to go
fucking
up the
thing.
top to get Molly. So I can get Molly to control it to go up to the surface and then bring us all down as one. Hopefully.
Hopefully.
What an interesting idea.
We'll see if it works.
Next
Ow.
time.
All right, so
Stars without number.
that was a glorious disaster of a session. So who are we rating?
I don't know, but yeah, that was exactly what I was expecting from this group.
For
honestly.
Charles to almost die again.
Oh, you know, just the usual.
I mean, you did commit to the tremendous and horrifying acts of heroism, so you know it kind of comes with territory.
If you had just stayed put, we would have been fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
it would have only been Pim that was in danger by
Al-
himself with
Also,
no help.
thank you, Kit, for the resub. We muchly appreciate you. I apologize, we missed the notification earlier, but my computer's been having a bit of trouble.
Shall we go for turn-based Dave? He's live.
Sure, let's do it. Let's do it. We haven't rated him in a while.
Yeah,
Sure.
that sounds fun.
And lately, I don't know if he's still doing art, but lately he's been doing some really cool art. He is. He's doing some really cool Street Fighter art. So yeah, let's throw him
nice.
some love. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thank you, Evildoer, for the raid. Thanks for whoever hung around and chatted and popped in and all that jazz. And yeah,
And
we'll
all that
catch you
jazz.
hopefully on Sunday. Fingers crossed, assuming all goes well. Otherwise, we'll see you next Tuesday for our next stream.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm heckin' keen for this Sunday, Ash.
Yes, I'm
I'm-
dying for Sunday, but unfortunately, Ash's work situation has been very challenging lately. So,
It should be good for this.
Hey,
Sunday, though.
let's send him to Shepparton. Let's send him to Shepparton. Let's send him to Shepparton.
in respect to the fact that life doesn't always coincide with streaming, we will endeavour to do our best. But apologies if we don't quite make it. Otherwise,
Life.
Yep.
Life happens.
Yep.
Bye.
I hope you've enjoyed my drawing, which I've been doing, which is like underneath everyone. I had to do a little bit of a reshuffle of the stream halfway through because my Discord is crapping itself, and I was like, if I close my Discord, we lose the volume, and then no one can hear what the story's going on. Yeah, so I made some compromises.
All good.
So I hope you all enjoyed my little scribbles through the session. And we'll catch you next time. I'm going to pop us over to our end screen so we can raid Dave. You have a good one, guys. Good night.
Oh.
Bye.
Good night.